how bad Fast and the Furious was?
Oh, I didn't only saw the very first one.
You ain't watch none of like the newer ones or anything?
No. After the first one, I was like, this is enough for me.
Well, I mean, you can check out, let me see. What was the second one? Tokyo Drift? Tokyo Drift, right? That was trash. Mm-hmm. Tokyo Drift was probably the worst one. And 3 was good.
Okay.
Why didn't you want to go to the next?
I just don't really watch much. I watch like trash reality TV. I don't watch much TV or movies. I know I'm terrible. I just be out living life.
Like what do you? Okay, trash reality. Everybody used to be on the trash reality. Mm-hmm. Depending on what your age is, what was your top trash reality show?
I liked Flavor Love because I'm old school.
Give me some of that, man. I thought you was gonna be like Road Rules or was it Road Rules or
The Real World?
The Real World, mm-hmm. Which I almost got on The Real World. Mm-hmm. Road Rules was like terrible.
Yes.
What did you like about Flavor Love?
It was like the first show of its kind, you know what I mean? And it was centered around like, a black protagonist in Flavor Flav. Okay. And, New York is just, the queen of reality TV.
Right.
So we love her.
Is she still out there?
She does. She's big on social, I feel like. She's still in the memes.
Oh, man.
She's still very much relevant. People give her flowers.
I mean, what would she be? Would she be the first besides, like, Whitney Houston?
Okay.
Because when you think about reality, mm-hmm. reality shows, the first one you got to give it to the props to Bobby and Whitney show.
Okay, that's fair. Right? Yeah. Well, The Real World, really, if you wanna.
I mean, that's different though. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause you also had College Hill, right?
Yes.
Yeah, College Hill that came like a little bit after Road Rules, right? Mm-hmm. So, Real World, yeah, but when you talk about 2 actors or 2 celebrities living together, doing what they doing. Mm-hmm. That's Bobby and Whitney.
That's fair.
So
Sinbad, I remember, also had a reality show.
That was later though, right?
Yeah, that's true.
That was like, hey, y'all, hold on, man. Before we go, see Students in Detention.
Hey.
André Mulligan, we are here with Amba Walker.
How y'all doing?
Chicago, Illinois.
Chicago.
Southside Chicago.
Inglewood.
Okay. My family from Blackstone, 87.
All right.
So they lived off 87th, and then we migrated to Louisville, Kentucky.
It's okay. We forgive you.
What do you like?
It's enough niggas in Chicago anyway. We can do with less.
Do you love going back to Chicago?
I'm mixed about going back to Chicago. Like, I love going back to see my family, but I hate going in the winter. And that's the time people want you to be home. Right. So, like, I didn't go home for Thanksgiving. Okay. I probably won't be home for Christmas. And I'm like, I live in California. Y'all can come visit me, but...
That ain't gonna happen.
No, I don't think so. I've been out here for almost 2 years, and I'm still waiting on my family to come see me.
Oh, shit. I've been out here going on 9. No, I seen 2 people come out here say, hey. Matter of fact, one of my homegirls came out here with her husband and a few people. But it's one of those, they come at the wrong time too. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's like they just pop up like, hey, we here. Like, oh man, I'm sorry, I can't.
You could have called me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go see them, but I don't know. I don't hang out with people like that no more.
That's fair.
I think comedy hurt that.
And it's always like, at least with comedy, it's always you have something to offer them to do. Right. There's always a show. Right. When I went home last time, actually, in August, I was doing, because it was warm. I did comedy for the first time in Chicago.
How was that?
It was great. Okay. More of my family showed up to see me do comedy than came to my graduation. Oh, wow. Which was very interesting. I'm like, y'all told me to stay in school, and here we are.
Wow. Hold on. How many showed up to your graduation?
Maybe 2 or 3.
High school or college?
We're talking both, actually. Okay, for my college graduation, how many people came? 4 or 5.
What? Did you send out invitations?
I did send out invitations.
How many invitations? Hold on, y'all. How many invitations did you send, and when did you send them out?
Okay, maybe not invitation. Maybe like a text message, like, "Hey, I'm graduating this year."
What kind of bull? Come on, man. You got to send a formal invitation, and then at least people be like, oh yeah, but you sent a text message. Come on.
I mean, I was one of the first people in my family to graduate, so I don't know the protocol.
High school or college?
College. I'm first generation college student.
Oh wow. What school?
I went to Oberlin in Ohio.
Ohio what?
It was called Oberlin College. It was a very small private liberal arts college.
Okay.
And then I graduated with an internship, not a job. So I just showed up back in Chicago, and everybody's like, "What are you doing here? We thought that you like walked off into the sunset."
Wow.
And I'm like, there's a recession going on. And then I moved to Miami because I was ashamed. And one of my friends was vacating a job, and he was like, "Yo, if you want this job, you can have it, but you got to be here in like 3 days." So I interviewed I found out about the job on Wednesday, interviewed on Thursday, got hired on Friday. I was on a plane to Miami by Tuesday.
But that's South Beach, though. I mean, who would do it?
Yeah.
Right? I remember I went down for the Chippendales. I went down for an audition for the South Beach Chippendales. Mm-hmm. And when I missed my flight. I was going to take like Sky Blue down. No, Allegiance. I was going to take Allegiance down from Lexington, Kentucky, fly down to Orlando, drive from Orlando, or Fort Lauderdale, the hour and a half down. Missed it, ended up driving overnight.
Okay.
And I think I left like 11 o'clock that night. It's like 7-8 hour drive or whatever. Mm-hmm. Audition was 9 o'clock that morning. I drank 8 Red Bulls.
All right.
And for some weird reason, I ate chips.
What kind? Spicy?
Just junk food, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, but you had to be like okay, that makes sense.
It was the worst audition I ever had in my life. I'm talking about my stomach was out, and I remember asking my cousin, I was like, "Hey, bro, how I look?" He said, "Man, you look fat." Mm-hmm. He was like, "You look fat as shit." No. I was like, "What?" And I looked in the mirror. It was just like, oh, like, and I hit like it was like bow, 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 bow when I left.
Mm-hmm. And then but it was too late.
How did you like South Beach though?
I enjoyed my time in Miami. It was a little rocky in the beginning, I'm not gonna lie.
Why?
I often feel like I almost got sex trafficked.
Shit! Oh shit! Oh!
I was looking for like roommates, but I didn't really know anybody there. And I had gone into like, an ad on Craigslist, and it was just like 4 or 5 girls in like a converted motel room that was like an apartment. And I was like, I don't think that anybody really wants to be here. Let me get the fuck out of here.
Did you stay?
No, I just came in and looked around, and they were like bleeding, like looking like, I was like, oh no. Man. I'm gonna just back out slowly. It's like that Homer Simpson gif.
I went to an Airbnb. So when I first moved out here, August 2014. I got kicked out of 8 Airbnbs, like just like that, right? I mean, police called on me, everything.
Oh, here?
Yeah, here, everywhere. Like when your black male, like literally couldn't get it. I remember going to a place over by La Cienega by the LA Fitness over there. Mm-hmm. Okay, so right over by there is a house that had 20 rooms in it. Okay. Right? You get in there and every single one, they had like a rope that split this and then straight across, and this right here was your room. You just had enough room for this right here and right beside you, and it was like walk through there. It was like walking this small. Yes. And you had this, and then she was like, "I got apartments." She's like, "I got rooms outside too." And you go outside, and people were like in like the barn, and they had like double bunk beds, like on top of each other. So 4 people, right?
That's too much.
Right. So they had a ladder to climb up to the top. And I was like, oh, fuck. Nah, fuck this.
Yes.
Fuck this. I don't think it was sex trafficking, but they probably would have took you.
Yes. I was like, it was still like $600 a month.
Oh, shit.
And I'm like, how are you all charging me this much to live in these conditions? But it was right on like Ocean, It was like in the heart of South Beach. So.
You can't beat that then. Yeah. Ocean Drive, what?
It's all about location, people.
Right. So we stayed at the Pelicans Inn right there off Ocean Drive. Yeah. So every time we would go down Memorial Day weekend, we stayed at the Pelicans Inn right there off of like 115th Ocean Drive. Right there, right? And 2 years in a row, somebody got killed right in front of us. Like right there, Memorial weekend.
I'm not. Yeah, that's a wild weekend. That was the weekend. The first year I was there was the weekend where that guy ate the homeless man's face.
With the bath salt?
Yes.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
I had biked to the beach because I wanted to avoid traffic, so I rode my bike. And then I lived downtown Miami, so it wasn't that far. And I was biking back, and I was like, why are all these police cars, like, on the causeway? And then, like, I got home and, like, heard the news, and I was like, if I left 15 minutes earlier, that might have been me.
Well, I hate you.
Yes.
So sex trafficking and aid.
All in my first year in Miami. It's a wild place.
Did they think you were Haitian down there?
No.
They knew you weren't Haitian at
No.
all?
All I gotta do is open my mouth. Nobody was
They just on top. I mean, you could Puerto Rican.
No, just regular old black.
Just regular
USDA grade A certified.
Ain't nobody be like,
black.
What is she?
No, I don't think so. I feel like once I open my mouth, it's like Black American.
I was talking about how Miami has a lot of Africans with one arm down there.
Okay.
Did you notice that?
I did not notice that.
It's because a lot of the refugees from genocide were sent there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I never seen so many flashy, just jumping out of nice BMWs, just jumping out with one arm, and I was like, what? I was like, what's going on? They was like, oh, a lot of these cats are from genocide. And they shipped over, and a lot of them are dope boys now.
I wish I would have known where they hung out. My time might have been a lot easier. They probably been a lot more humble than the people I ended up dating living there.
I mean, so when did you? So you're a comedian. We're both comedians. When did you start doing comedy?
In earnest, about a year ago.
About a year ago.
Yes.
What got you bit?
I had spent a lot of time around comics. Like, I was dating a comic, and I was interested. I dabbled here and there.
Okay.
So it was more so when I moved here in July of 2021. I got laid off from my job immediately. Okay. So it was like I had some time to, think while I was collecting unemployment about like what I wanted to do with my life. And that was like the first time that I had like an extended period of time without like having to report somewhere.
Right.
So it gave me some time to like really figure out like what I wanted to do. And comedy kept rising to the top of the list.
Okay.
Because I was always like interested in doing creative stuff, but I was deterred against it growing up because it's like I had good grades and it's like nigga get out the hood, like go to college. Like why are you worried about like doing theater or like trying to sing, stuff like that. So I felt like I slowly got more creative as like my career progressed. Like I was a journalist and it's like that's a writer, but it's like formal,
Right.
But I still wasn't making no money. So I figured, like, if I'm not gonna make any money doing anything, why not just do what I like to do? Okay. And I watched, what was the name of that documentary? It was a documentary with Jim Carrey about when he played, you know who I'm talking about.
Man on the Moon.
Yes,
Man on the Moon.
The documentary going into that process.
Okay.
And he was like, quoting his father, like, I watched my father give up his dreams of being a musician to become an accountant and got laid off anyway. And like, the family was homeless and like went on hard times. And I was like, why would I spend my life doing something I don't want to do when I can still fail at that? Right. When I can fail at doing what I want to do.
Right. It's weird that I have 3 degrees and I always hated working for somebody. Yes. And, I think God has always created those moments where I didn't get along with people, I didn't want to be around people, or I just outshined everybody. And I just learned, like, dude, you need to be on your own, doing your own thing. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. Mine is political science, history, education, master's in marketing. What's yours?
I got my undergrad in African American Studies, aka unemployment, and gender and women's studies. Right, that's straight unemployment. Oppression, yes. And then my master's is in journalism, which is underemployment, I guess.
Journalism, I think, is better than African American studies, though, right? I think African American studies now will probably be popping.
Yes, right. That's why I was woke before it was popular. If I would have become woke 10 years later. I could have started Black Lives Matter.
It's weird. It's weird that, coming from the Midwest where we come from, I say South, some people say Midwest, the level of respect when it comes to working and drive and just how we take people is way different out here once you get out to Cali, I think. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I think our edge coming from the Midwest is like, I know what needs to be done, I'm going to do it. And then when you get out here, as long as you're around the right people, you'll get it done. But when you get around the wrong people, you'll procrastinate. And I think that's why, you know, when people look at their degrees and get out here, you got to pick. You really can't do both. You can't really do a full-time job and go do comedy.
No.
Because you're not going to get better.
No, you're going to be exhausted too.
It's weird. It's weird. I think, my fault. Let me say this. I think it is possible as long as you don't get around the wrong people. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like you can work a full-time job. You can go get a job 9 to 8 in the afternoon and take off on the days you get shows. You know what I'm saying? And that's always possible. But I think what happens is a lot of people start having to pick between, do you want more money or do you want to just let it happen?
Yeah.
And what did you decide?
I am freelancing, so I haven't gone back to a 9 to 5. I've been lucky enough to find business, you know, using my, you know, talents without having to go back to work full time. So I feel like I'm kind of in a good place where I'm able to make enough money to like cover my living expenses out here, and have a room to myself, you know, which is important. But also, you know, have the flexibility and the free time to do comedy.
Goddamn rent out here is dangerous, man.
It is. I got a mortgage back home, a couple of them, you know, but here we are.
Do you miss Chicago?
Chicago will always, you know, be home, but you know, I don't think I want to live there anymore. It's too cold.
If Chicago was warmer, if Chicago had the same, because I mean, if you were doing theater repertory or something like that, Chicago and for law school and for psychiatry, Chicago the shit, right?
It's a great comedy city.
And for right? I heard a lot of great talents come out of Chicago. So if the weather was better, and it wasn't as violent, which I don't know if that affected you or not, would you move back?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's really just the weather. I didn't want to be cold. As soon as I moved to Miami, I was like, you know, this shit's for the birds. I made a brief detour to Wisconsin because I got a good job. And then I went to New York for grad school. But after that, I was like, no.
What makes you what do you think your biggest challenge is being a year into comedy? Like what do you think is what's the bullshit and what's the what do you think?
I feel like I'm pretty good on consistency. I think that like remembering my jokes is difficult for me. But I blame that on weed. That's not necessarily comedy's fault. But I just think that, you know, it hasn't really been hard, I guess. It's just like just getting up and doing it every day, even if I don't feel like doing it, you know? Like if I'm sick or if I'm in pain or, you know, if I have something going on in my life, just being like, you know, fuck that, go on stage. And like, you know, just trying to go more often than not. So I don't think that I have encountered very many difficulties. I have learned along the way a lot. Like, you know, most of the time I do comedy like at open mics that are at bars. And it's like, okay, I have a drink and to support the venue. But if I'm going to like 3 mics in a night, by the time I get to that third set, I'm probably a little drunk. So just learning like how, you know, because I feel like that was a big thing for me too. Once I cut back on like drinking at open mics, then I started getting booked more. Because I was less, you know, searching for my words, searching for my memories, searching for my jokes on stage. So I come off more polished, you know, the less substances I abuse before I get on stage.
I'm definitely with it. Let me double check this, make sure, then jump off and make sure we still good. Good. All right. You know, it's comedy. Who's your favorite comedians? Who are you going for? Top 3, top 5.
I love Miss Pat. Because I feel like she has had such a strong narrative and she's hilarious, and it's great to see like a black woman, you know, being successful in comedy. I love the Miss Pat show. I read Rabbit. She's like one of my favorites.
Okay. Miss Pat.
Yes. Of course, Bernie Mac. And I really love like listening to comics tell their stories in their own voice. So I listened to Maybe You'll Never Cry Again, you know, Bernie Mac's audiobook. And you know, he's just like, you know, the gold standard when it comes to like a comedian from Chicago. So to like, you know, I would be very lucky to like, you know, walk in his footsteps and in his tradition. And then of course, like, you know, Eddie Murphy, because you know he's our comedy superstar. So just you know, those are my top 3.
You got 2 more if you want to.
Oh, top 5. Okay.
Top 5.
I really like narrative comics too, like folks who could tell a story. I don't know if I can say that Louis C.K. is one of my favorites because you know he's wrapped up in scandal, and I'm a feminist. I love feminism, and I'm a you know supporter of the Me Too movement. But I think Louis C.K. is hilarious.
I mean, it doesn't take away from his accolades of a comedian.
As a comedian, yes, that's true. I just don't want to be canceled. You know, whoever's listening, but you know.
Look,
I know I hate it, but you know that's the world we live in.
Okay, and who's 5?
Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle.
Yes.
Is he 5 or is he 1 or is he where is he rank on your top?
I mean, Bernie Mac is my favorite because you know I got to support the hometown. I would say Chappelle is 3 after Eddie Murphy.
Okay.
And Louis C.K. and Miss Pat.
So I grew up listening to everybody, and one thing I noticed is that I went back and I was watching Monique from Queens of Comedy, right? And the reason why I think you can go back and you look at it and you'd be like, okay, this is why people say it's a miss, right? Because you got the comedy that would be like that was a bomb. I think what Monique did back then is that she gave like big women a voice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I think Monique and Miss Pat are very similar, but Monique, because of all the bullshit that she did and went through, has knocked her out of her ranking.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think Miss Pat, as long as she maintains that same Miss Pat stamp, she good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And not be that, oh, now I'm commercial or now I'm this. Now the only problem is that I was writing down jokes the other day and I was like, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I was like, black room, white room. Black room, white room. And I started looking at something I haven't done in a minute. I used to count my laughs, right? And what happens is when you get stressed out, you stop doing it. But it actually would help, right? And I started looking, and when you think of Miss Pat and you think of Monique, Miss Pat has crossed over, but not crossed over, right? So she still has her black fan base, but white people love the hell out of her. Did Monique have a white fan base?
I would say, I mean, she had a primetime television show, so I don't think you can do that without having white fans. You know, she's on UPN.
Though.
Wait, you said Monique had a white fan base?
Did Monique have a white fan base?
Well, her show was on UPN. Which was the black network, yes. But you know white people watch Girlfriends. And you know white people watch Miss Parker.
Would you say Miss Pat is... So you remember how Tiffany Haddish came out, right?
With the movies.
Right. So
yes.
Right. So Tiffany Haddish came out that way. And then it's weird because a lot of people... I didn't pay attention to her on Real Husbands of Hollywood.
No, I don't remember her on that show either.
She was on there. She was like one of the main people. I did not know that. And then she did the New Year's show, right? Did you see the New Year's show? Where she got drunk.
Oh, in Miami, yes. This was after her more commercial success.
Well, you were there, right? I mean, you were living in Miami, though.
No, I was not living there. I was living in Wisconsin, I think, when this happened.
I was saying, did you hear about it?
I did hear about it, yes, but I wasn't there.
Damn. Would you do a New Year's show?
I would do any show. Any show I was looking for. No, I've learned to not drink until after I was maybe one glass of wine, but no, because I don't want that to happen to me. That could easily be me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you see where CNN's not allowing them to drink anymore.
And I think that sucks. Let those people have a good time.
If
there's no news to report.
You ain't see how they was acting last year?
That's great. That's
Man,
fun.
Don Lemon sexually assaulted someone on TV. They were talking real crazy politics.
I love that.
It was just weird.
It's a real conversation.
But let Steve Harvey do what he done. If Steve Harvey would have been doing that shit, Steve was the one who was like.
He did at the Versus.
He was like,
what? He drunk at the Versus.
He was fucked up.
Yeah, so, and he still has his shows.
But I think I think one of the biggest challenges for Black people is being yourself in every room, right? That's the, are you the same in every room or do you change in different rooms?
I feel like I am the same in most rooms just because I don't have that much material. Like, I don't think I have enough yet to be like, okay, these are the jokes I'm going to do for white audiences versus Black audiences. So I just try to make sure that everything is funny and relatable. But I'm starting to, I guess that's the one of the difficulties I'm encountering now entering my second year is like coming up with like more clean material or like material that works for like different types of audiences, because I guess before now I was doing comedy for me, it's kind of like, as a way to process shit that was going on in my life, that may or may not resonate with other people. So now it's like, as I'm starting to get booked more, just thinking about like how I can craft a different set for a different type of audience. And knowing that having a clean set could open up more doors for me.
It definitely will open up more doors, but who says it will also?
I just want to be versatile.
You know what I'm saying? It's weird. It's weird that you'll go to like audition like the Laugh Factory, they'll tell you gotta be clean, right? And the host cuss. Yes. Right? So, and then you start noticing that nobody that they're putting on our stage is clean. You know what I'm saying? So it's weird that people hold standards of things that they don't really do at their club. You know what I'm saying? So but when you worked, are you the same person in every work setting? Or did you change versus when like corporate came around? Was it a whole different kind of tap dancing, or was you the same person all the way through?
I think that my commitment to my values at work has caused me problems in the workplace, definitely. Okay. I think, I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm a different person at work, but over the years I've learned that like, do I really want to create these problems for myself? Like, I remember my first job, like right out of college, I was there for maybe 2 months before I got called into HR for telling one of my coworkers she was a racist. Oh, shit. Even though, yes, she was racist. But at the end of the day, it's like, now I have to deal with these problems. You know what I mean? I'm in the meeting with HR. And I'm dealing with this white woman tears because she got called racist. So even if I'm right, I'm still like the bad guy in the situation. Right. So like, I think I've learned over time, like when to be, even if I'm right, even like it's not necessarily worth it. Is it worth it to be right in this setting? Or do I just want to come to work, get my check and leave?
It depends. It depends. I used to work for Greyhound Lines, right? So I worked for Greyhound in Louisville and I got fired for saying nigga. And it was the same year that the teacher in Louisville said nigga too. Right? Okay. And he kept his job.
Is that the one that they parodied on the Boondocks?
Yeah, he was like, I said nigga, not nigga. Yeah. Like, come on, man. I said it to her African. So we had this.
That's great.
We had this dude named Seika that we were bus boys, bag boys, and every time the bus would come in, you had to go in clean. This motherfucker be in the corner asleep because he was working 3 jobs. He was working 3 or 4 jobs, right? So when the bus come in, he'd be like knocked out asleep, and I go clean the bus, and then he'll come out there with the water. He did the same shit every time. Like as soon as the bus is done, he'll come out there.
What happened?
Oh shit! And I was like, nah, you a lazy ass nigga, bro. This is bullshit. Got called in by the manager. The most racist people are the people who don't like your work are normally older Black people. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
And they all wrote, I heard them say nigga.
They weren't even there.
They weren't there. And it was like, he says, really, they was like, he says it all the time. And these women be sexual assaulting, like talking reckless. And there was no HR. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, so did they fire you? They just write you up for that?
Oh, me? I didn't get written up. It was just like we were sharing an office, so we just had to resolve it. You know, I was working in nonprofits, so I think that even though it was a problem, there was, you know, it was like more of a healing circle than like, you know, a reprimand.
What made you call her racist though? What did she do? Did she say a word that made you be like, "Ah, bitch, you racist," or did you just be like, "Ah, bitch, you racist"?
Well, we were trying to figure out where we wanted to implement like a community service program for youth. And like the spirit of the program was, you know, to, you know, increase civic engagement among, you know, populations in Miami, and the least civically engaged population happened to be like in this one, you know, predominantly black neighborhood. But she wanted to move it to like a more privileged neighborhood, and I'm like, well, these people won't benefit from this, like, because they're not our target audience. And she was like, well, you know, I don't want to go in this neighborhood with those people. And I'm like, what do you mean those people? Black people? And then, you know, from there,
it's certain words we're not allowed to say. You know what I'm saying? If they say those people, we know what the fuck they mean.
Exactly, and they know what they mean. So I interrogate it.
So it's one of those things that black people, unless we hear you say nigga, they will be like, oh, they're not racist. You know what I'm saying? Did you see the Uber driver record a white girl today?
No.
You just, oh shit.
I've been off of social media, off of news. I've just been taking a hiatus from all.
Oh shit. So the bus driver, so this lady, I don't know what happened. She called an Uber driver nigga like 50 times.
Okay.
And they, you know what it is.
That's 150 times less than the white girl at the school.
What school?
Called the RA. I forgot, some school in the South. She was calling the RA all out her name.
Oh shit!
Like, you're a nigger bitch. You're a nigger bitch. Yeah.
Oh shit! Hold on.
It was like maybe 3 weeks ago.
Let's see, Uber. Driver.
And they let her withdraw from school and then expel her.
I guess cussed out. Oh, look, my writing is terrible. Where? Oh shit! It's today. Hold on. Here you go. Shit.
Oh, a slave too?
Yes.
She wasn't playing.
Yeah, she said that's why you're a slave, bitch.
Cause he missed the exit. Of course, the Young Turks. I'm your boss. Damn, it has to beep it out. They might be able to beep out the whole video.
Right.
What's wrong with you?
I'm not surprised. That's how they feel.
So there's a close-up.
All because her phone wasn't charged, huh? Maybe charge your own motherfucking phone before you leave the house.
So there's another video that shows he was sitting there. He was like,
let's highlight the reality of what we just saw.
"You seen this dude? He does a lot of these videos
for the Young Turks."
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen. I feel like I have seen him. Yes. I used to be a very big Young Turks consumer.
How do you respond to like being like have you, if she was said nigga, how would you have responded to it? Is it something like you like, oh shit, or do you let it go?
Oh, I don't let it go. I always interrogate people. My worst, I hate it when black people let their white friends say nigga around them.
Okay.
So like, I'm like, no, you can't say that. It's not your word, you know?
Right. Where was I at?
I have all the smoke for people that say that. Non-black people that say nigga. I don't even like Hispanics saying nigga.
Right. I think I was in Hawaii, and some little white kid was like, yeah, nigga, do the... And then all his friends kind of looked at me, and I'm sitting there like, what I supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those things like, what do I supposed to do? I don't know you, and you're not saying it to me, but I know the more times I've been called nigga, it's been by niggas who don't like me, not white people.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I don't really trip over it like a lot of people might.
I just love opportunities for smoke. You know, it's like this is my moment.
I mean, if they say it to you or they just say it.
If people say it around me, if I overhear people saying it,
Right.
I intervene as well.
Like,
I'll be on the bus. A couple weeks ago, I was on the bus and there was a group of kids who are not black who were saying it. And I'm like, hey, y'all watch y'all language. It's offensive. So, I used to be a teacher as well, so I guess I'm not too afraid of confronting groups of young people who are in the wrong.
I don't know. I'm not. I just I think if I'm in confrontation with someone, then it changes. But I just don't like how black people change the setting when a white person calls them nigga. All of a sudden they're madder. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like don't you just be mad. Be mad. Don't be mad because motherfucker called you nigga. Because I think the parallel sad part from the hood is that a lot of black people, when you're non-black and you say it, they automatically believe they can beat you anyway. Versus them getting into it with a black person who say nigga. You know what I'm saying? I always found that very funny. Is that you would see like depending on the white dude or the person, people won't fucking try to fight them. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's weird. It's a weird thing. Like John Cena called somebody a nigga. Ain't too many people gonna fight.
Fair, yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Like,
I mean, I would probably say something.
What white woman can call you nigga and get away with it?
Nobody.
Like Ronda Rousey? Like she's like, fuck you, nigger. It's like,
I mean, Ronda Rousey punched me in the face. I'm suing her. So please call me a nigga.
Right. So you know what I'm saying though? It's like John Cena's like, man, fuck you, nigga. Like
I mean, yes, that is fair. But you know, I come for the smoke, so I can't fight either, which is terrible.
You
but
look like
I'm
you can
a
fight.
thick mouth. No, I can't. That's the worst thing about being from the South Side of Chicago. People assume that I can fight or I am armed.
Did you ever? Did you and your? Because you went through kind of like a rocky year or whatever. Have you ever gotten like with mates? Have you ever gotten in fights or anything like that, or has it always been just cordial, like during breakups?
Like a physical fight?
Yeah.
No, because I can't fight, and I feel like most people that date me know I can't fight. So
one of my boys.
Yes, and I don't hit men routinely. I might do a little, but I'm not about to try to fight nobody. See, exactly.
Hurts.
I would love to tap you, but I'm not about to put my hands on you.
I
think you'd be justified in hitting somebody back, man or woman, if they are assaulting you.
Have you ever hit a guy? You ever smacked a guy?
No, the worst times I've thrown water on a person.
Oh shit! What kind of water?
Just like cold water.
Not black. Not like our mama's hot stove water.
No. Like at a dinner, somebody say something disrespectful,
Oh wow.
Yes.
Hold on. At a dinner?
Yeah, like at a restaurant. I'm on a date. I've been on a date with somebody who said some really out of pocket shit. And I threw some water on them.
No, explain this. You can't just walk over this one. Okay, so date, where y'all at?
We were, I'm trying to remember, because this was a long time ago. Might have been in it was in Miami. So I was in my early 20s. And I was on a date, maybe first or second date with this guy. And he just said something that was really nasty. Might have asked me for a hand job or something, or implied that I was a sex worker or something that's really out of pocket. And I was I reacted with, very big, threw the water and left.
Oh shit.
Yes.
Wow.
I was driving my own car too, so
So second date.
Yes.
Guy says, was he black, white, Hispanic?
He was black, yeah.
He was black, and he was like, what's up? And you did it have ice in the cup?
It was ice in it, yeah.
Oh shit. Denny's?
No, it was somewhere outside, because it was Miami and it was nice. Okay. So it was probably a decent restaurant, probably somewhere for happy hour, knowing me.
What do you do? Did you get water?
I don't know, I never saw him again.
Did he stay right there, or did you get up when you threw it, or you just threw it fuck you, and just
essentially, yeah. I was don't talk to me like that, and just threw it and left, and didn't look back.
You ain't like him anyway, though, right?
No, probably. I liked him enough to go on a second date. But it was very early on in whatever interaction we had.
Second dates where I'm from is normally smash dates.
Okay.
Normally second dates where I'm from is smash dates. So it's a possibility he could have got some, but he messed it up. Or did he have like 6 more months of dates to go through?
I'm not waiting no 6 months to fuck nobody.
So 3 dates? Was he there? Was he gonna get the bun?
No, I don't think so.
So you ain't like him anyway?
No, not really.
Because if he was a right guy, he could have kind of slipped it in there. You would be like, Trey Songz, stop.
I don't know. Whatever it was, because I usually keep a very level head. So whatever he said to me had to deeply offend me for me to react that way.
What was y'all talking about?
I don't remember. This was like, probably 10 years ago, 10, 12 years ago.
Wow.
But yes, I have thrown water on somebody.
Did he?
And I have gotten drunk and, swung on somebody, but then I was like,
on a date?
failed. No, like in a relationship setting.
What?
And I was told this, when I drink tequila, I could get drunk. So I was like, don't you remember trying to hit me? I was like, no, I don't. What did I do?
So you get violent with tequila?
I can be violent with tequila, apparently. Allegedly. I wasn't there.
Y'all heard this?
I was drunk.
So, okay.
And it's not okay, ladies. It's not okay to hit men, even if they make you upset.
Tell my mom that. Mom, you heard this?
It's not okay.
You heard that, mama?
Don't hit men.
Yeah,
so if they hit you back, then you can't be mad because, you put your hands on them first.
Y'all heard that, women in Louisville? Y'all heard that? Don't hit no man. I come from a community where women stab and kill you.
Uh-huh.
They pull knives out, they cut you up.
Same thing in Chicago. But I know I can't fight, so that's not in my spirit.
So. You can't fight at all, or you just be telling people.
No, I can't fight.
I
never learned.
I don't think I ever hit water. Hold on, let me turn this off. I don't think I said anything to anyone that was disrespectful like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always been kind of, I don't push it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, guys, read the room, right? Guys, you have to know how to read the room. It's like you just can't turn on move and put your hand on a girl's leg. You just can't do that, right? So it's like the Netflix and chill kind of situation. If the guy's in a Netflix and chill situation, right, versus being a dinner, would your response be different?
Well, I'm probably not going to be at your house if I'm not comfortable with you anyway.
Okay, respect that.
Yeah. I feel like if you say something to me that will cause me to react that way and I'm at your house,
okay,
I will excuse myself, because it's like, there's safety too that comes with, reacting a certain way in public.
Right.
Versus, I'm like at somebody's crib, you never know what nobody got in their crib.
Right.
So, you know.
What's your rules when you go with somebody's crib? Not my crib, but what's your rules when you go with somebody's crib? What do you do? I want to hear this one.
I mean, I guess because I don't know if this is like post dating app boom or what, but I remember like coming across a guy who I met like on Tinder who was like, I'm like, can we go to a coffee shop? He's like, no, if you want to date me, you have to come to my house because I don't like go out with women. So I'm not trying to spend no money. I'll pay for you. I'll make you dinner or whatever, but I'm not leaving my house. If you want to meet me, you got to come to my house. Okay. And I think that's ridiculous, because I don't know you. I'm not coming home with you if I don't know you.
I respect his angle on it to a certain extent. And the reason why, because if it's working, then don't switch up.
Yeah, apparently he's like, if I talk to 100 women, 80 of them are fine with coming. So it's like, it's not a loss for me if you don't come here.
It's real talk.
And I'm like, well, maybe, that if that works for you, like you said, don't switch it up. But I just don't feel comfortable coming to a complete stranger's house.
I think, because I started off with Black Planet when I was younger, like freshman year of college. We had Black Planet, and there was like Black Planet and MySpace and Moco Space and Adult Space, and I did like Fling. I didn't do Tinder. I did Moco Space, and what was that? Louisville Moco. Something like that. So all these wild sites, right? And I remember when I was first on there, because I was a dancer, so I would advertise my male reviews on there to the women. So if I did holler at a girl, like, oh, you want to come over, whoop the whoop. What's your address?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I ever had to take a girl out to dinner probably until like maybe 4 or 5 years after I had got on that and I ended up getting a girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
But I never had to take women out.
No,
Never.
nice.
They, like, I always cooked.
Mm-hmm.
They always came and hang. It was always like the Netflix and chill, but not Netflix. It was VHS and chill.
Yes.
That was it. So you never went straight over guys' house or invited a guy straight over your house?
Oh, no. Not for the first day. Like, the first interaction has to be very public.
Okay.
And I remember, like, when I was younger, I would still do this to a certain extent. I never really got into the apps like that anyway.
Okay.
But I think, like, with that element, it's, like, I feel a lot less safe. But usually, like, let's meet out in public. And before I would have a group chat with my friends, like, this is where we're going.
Boom.
This is, even if I'm getting in the car with you, like, this is the license plate, you know, like, if y'all don't hear from me by this time, you know, we have a code word, like, okay, if I text this, you know, call me so I can get the fuck out of here.
Do that.
You know,
go ahead.
Stuff like that.
Okay.
Especially being in, you know, a new city, you know, getting to know people. Because I'm dating now. So I have people meet me at shows.
Okay.
You know, I don't even, like, work on first dates anymore. It's like, I'm going to be here. If you want to take me out, we can have a drink before or after the show. But, like, you know, this is the best way to see me. Come see me in my element.
I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. It's I don't know. Women, I think y'all have to move a certain kind of way, but also at the same time, you have women breaking so many different rules that are unorthodox to most, like, something you might not do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember I think when I first moved out here, chicks would be like, oh, let's meet at the beach. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, okay, what time? Oh, meet me at like 11:30 p.m. Okay, yeah. And I meet them out on the beach, we're kicking it, walking, and then blase. And I started looking like, okay, none of y'all want to go to dinner. And I remember when I took a girl out to dinner, we went out to dinner, and we didn't go to none, maybe the fish grill or something like that. And I was like, she was like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm paying. She was like, huh? We pay for our own meal out here. I was like, what? I was like, is that you? Do you pay for your own meal, or are you more so like let the guy pay?
I mean, I'm not gonna turn down for you. If you offer it to pay, you can pay. But also, like, I'm fine with going Dutch, you know, especially if I'm, like, dating somebody and I like them, you know, we've been out a few times. I can't expect you to pay every time we go out, you know. I mean, it's nice if you got it like that. That's great. But if you're just like a normal person, you know, who's working a normal job,
right?
You know, I always like, okay, you want to?
No, yeah. Let me check, make sure I ain't getting no call. Oh shit, we almost done. Go ahead, my fault.
And I'm like, I'm never gonna suggest, like, if it's up to me to pick the dates, you know, I'm not gonna suggest a place I can't afford. You know what I'm saying?
What do you like? What is the Chicago? So you're speaking for, let's speak for chocolate Chicago with your kind of style elements or your girls. What's your dinner? What's your nightlife if you go out on a date? What you looking for?
I can't even speak from that perspective because I left Chicago at 18, so I didn't really have a tough time to date in Chicago. Okay, was dating
dating a liberal, a liberal African American woman in the early 2000s, right now, which is right now. What does a guy have to do? With everything's changing out here, cultural wise. What does a guy have to do when he takes you out? What are you looking for? What do you need? What don't you want? What do you like? Motherfucker, we good on this. Just don't be an asshole. Like, I went on a date with a guy who's like, you know, he made a lot of money. He was like into, like, you know, Forex trading or whatever. Okay. So, and then even if he didn't make money, he proposed like he made a lot of money. Okay. And, you know, we were talking about my situation. Like, I'm a comedian, up and coming, like a freelancer, you know, so I don't make that much money.
So he like offers to, he's like, oh, if you want a job, you can work for me. You can be my massage therapist. And you know, as long as you give me a happy ending, we're fine.
Oh,
so
shit.
maybe not bring that up on the first date. Like,
Oh,
even if your
wow.
intentions are to like help me out financially,
Wow.
that's fine. But don't like throw your money in my face
Wow.
or make me feel like, you know, I can be bought.
What was he gonna pay you?
He offered me $200 for a massage.
Every time?
Yes.
How many times a week?
I don't know. We didn't even get that far.
Would you have
I
done
was
it
like,
if you
I'm
would ask like
not
3 days
sure.
later?
No.
What was y'all at dinner at?
Where did he take me? We went to the like downtown Long Beach, one of the restaurants at the waterfront.
I mean, like PF Chang's or something like that?
Which one was it? It was the Mexican one. I'm not sure.
Oh, nigga, you
Tequila
tripping.
Shack.
Man, you tripping, man. You taking her? You gotta take the
Shack.
same good.
And he wrote it off.
And he wrote it off? Oh, you
yeah,
bullshit.
It's a business expense.
Oh, boy. What nationality?
But I'm not mad at him. He's a black man. From Chicago.
From Chicago?
Yes.
Do you have a hard time dating man from Chicago?
I love men from all walks of life.
Okay.
Yes.
So, did you meet him out here?
I met him here.
Okay.
We went out that one time. That was it.
Okay. What?
See, if I should have threw water on him, but you know, I've evolved since then.
What did you? So, what's your favorite meal? What if a guy take you out to dinner? What's your favorite meal? Where you want to go?
I like to eat a lot of different stuff, but
Okay.
I love Thai food.
Thai food. Okay.
Chinese, like Asian fusion stuff. I love a good hot pot. I love sushi.
Okay.
You know, we can do Korean barbecue.
Okay.
I'm down for whatever, as long as it's good and
Okay.
it's like a satisfying experience.
Now, being a lady comedian,
Mm-hmm.
at what point does it turn to comedy during the day?
The comedy's always on the table. That's why I can't date somebody who doesn't have like I don't want to say not necessarily a thick skin, but it's like you gotta have a sense of humor.
Okay.
Yes, the easiest way to get me is to make me laugh. I think.
Okay.
It has to be some type of banter. I couldn't be with somebody who's like straight laced.
Movies, play, music. Where you want them to take you? Comedy. What do you want them to take you? If they was like, hey, we're going to go see The Lion King at the Palladium, or they was like, hey, we're going to go watch Lady Gaga at the Hollywood Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Where are they was like, hey, I want to take you to the King Tut Museum. Where you want to go? What is your feel?
I do like concerts.
Okay.
I went on a date with this guy who like took me to like it wasn't even like a fancy concert. It was like the 15th anniversary of the album Below the Heavens, Blue in Exile. And
Okay.
Blue is one of my favorite hip hop artists. He's like a local, like kind of underground LA artist.
Okay.
And the guy saw that like I was following him on Instagram, and he's like, I got tickets to this concert. Do you want to come? And it's like I never talked to him about this. He just like paid attention. So I think like I'm open to doing a lot of different things. It's like this is the intention behind it. It's like if this is something that you see that I might like, bring it up.
So
just the thought, having some thought into a date is what would be more impressive than the date itself.
If a guy takes you away, how long do you have to know each other before he take you away?
Like on a road trip? I like to go on like excursion dates as soon as possible. I feel like that's the best way to get to know somebody.
3 days, 2 days?
Well, it depends on where we're going. Like if I just need to make sure I can get home. That's the biggest thing. So it's like if we're going out of town together, my grandma used to always tell me, you have cab fare in your bra, you know what I mean? So the further we're going, the more money I'm gonna have to get my plane ticket home, just in case she wants something crazy. But as long as I have that, I'm comfortable.
Do you think? What do you think your grandma would tell you? I don't know if she's living or not. Is she still?
It's my great grandma. She passed away.
So your great grandma, like if she could come back and give you like some advice, like right now, what would you probably ask her? What advice would you need at this age of your life?
I feel like she gave me pretty great advice. Like she was a model in terms of relationships for not settling, because I feel like she if she had the autonomy that I had at her age, I don't think she would have married my great grandfather. So when I left for college, she told me go and don't look back, live your life, have a good time, and I try to hold true to that, to honor her memory.
That's it.
Like I'm not gonna settle.
Was she funny?
She's hilarious.
Okay.
And just very, like a lot of black grandmas, you know, she's just very, no filter. So I appreciate that, you know.
What about politics on a date with you? Like, do you talk politics a lot?
I do, yes. And I think that turns off with like 80% of the guys.
I mean, did you vote last election?
I vote in every election.
God damn it, I ain't vote.
Yes, I vote every election. It's my civic duty. I love voting.
I did not. I think, I don't know what turned me off about politics. I think I voted for Biden, which seems evidently everybody's saying it was a big mistake. But I don't really know enough. I think the economy that we have right now is Trump's economy. And it's post-pandemic economy. So whoever took this economy anyway was going to be shit, right? Yes. But I think there's a lot of pushback with the companies like your Amazons and all those that are laying people off because of the fact that the governor is trying to come in with the Obamacare and, you know, the healthcare. And it was like, you know, if y'all gonna make us start giving these motherfuckers healthcare, we just gonna start laying everybody off.
Even though record profits, which is like, I guess what doesn't gel well with me. How you gonna cry broke and lay people off when you made more money than God last year? You know?
What one dude went from 85 million to like 2.7 billion in 2 years.
Yeah, so y'all got the money. You know, this is an excuse. This is corporate and capitalist greed. So
what conversation? So are you able to go out with somebody, friends, whoever, and have a regular conversation that goes into politics that y'all still keep friendship? Or are you one of those people be like, man, fuck that, we're not friends?
I feel like people more so backlash me for expressing my views. That's why sometimes I like to think, like, I don't ever want to compromise my values. It's like I feel like I need to say something. I don't choke my words. But, you know, my aunt, for example, I called her out for sharing something transphobic on Facebook, and she blocked me. I wasn't trying to say, like, oh, if you're transphobic, I don't want to. Because I'm a fan of calling people. I don't call people out, I call people in. But some people don't respond well to just being confronted with their biases.
What was the transphobia? What was it?
It was something about, like, trans women participating in sports.
Okay.
Yeah, so that tired argument. Like, these are men, they shouldn't be doing this.
I think that is a big argument right now.
But it was like rooted in hate, you know. It wasn't rooted in like, you know, logic.
I think
her commentary on the article was what was the problem for me.
I think what we should do, honestly think this. I said this before, and a lot of people thought I was like bullshit. I think if you're in the G League, right, which are the D League of the NBA, I think you should be allowed to pay in the WNBA.
Okay.
I think you automatically, if you're in the G League, you automatically
for the NBA.
If you can't make it to the NBA, I think they should be allowed to play in the WNBA.
But the league is for that class of athletes.
No, I think because I
don't they have development leagues for WNBA too?
Yeah, high school and college.
Oh, there's not like an equivalent.
Probably so, but overseas. But you know what I'm saying? Like I don't think you should have to necessarily go be transgender to play in another sport. You just got to be good enough. You know what I'm saying?
It's the same sport though.
But no, the WNBA is the women's side of the NBA.
Yeah, so it's both basketball.
So if you can't make it in the WNBA, if you can't make it in the NBA, fuck it, go to the WNBA.
You probably make more money playing in the development league of the NBA than you make in the WNBA. Period.
I think if you are in the WNBA, you dunking on chicks and you killing them, you gonna get the money. You're gonna be like Joanna Man.
Oh Jesus. Okay, they can do it, but they have to wear a wig and makeup.
No, what?
Yes.
You
want to do it? You gonna have to, and you have to wear a tampon up your asshole.
That's too far.
No, that's fine. We have to go through it. You have to go through it. You want the woman experience? You get the full woman experience.
Hey,
Joanna Man was playing in a wig and high heels, right?
That's bullshit, though. See,
and kissing men. So you have to do it. You went on a double date, right? In one of those scenes.
I know.
And had to pretend to like, you know, a guy.
Did he?
I don't know if they kissed, but you know, it was definitely some.
It was there.
It was, what's his name? Tommy Davis Jr. Yes, right? Tommy Davidson.
Tommy Davidson.
I just mixed up, I haven't even had it.
I've never watched Joanna Man. I've never watched Joanna
Sammy
Man.
Davis Jr.
Sammy,
That's what I was thinking.
I got you. Hold on. Is this it? No, it's another. I got one. So I think it's over there. You smoke?
I do.
Okay, I got you one over there, man. I've never watched Joanna Man. I was a wrestling coach though.
Mm-hmm.
So I wrestled in high school and I wrestled in college. And I always had a problem with wrestling. Like, I think I wrestled 2 girls. Mm-hmm. And I pinned like one in 13 seconds and the other one in like 20 seconds just to go light. But I could not imagine being in a women's sport.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Just based on just that. Because I'm very delicate when it comes to women.
Okay.
So I could not imagine myself going to that league and really trying to go 100% hard on girls. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the only thing that I say allow whoever to compete with each other, but I can't imagine like you picking me up right now, slamming me on the ground, and then me picking you up, slamming you on the ground.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because I think the difference is, no one, you're not gonna slam me as hard.
Okay.
But you don't have that kind of force that I have either.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my only. I say let them do it.
I might not, but there might be a woman out there that can.
No, I think I say Brock Lesnar, right? You know who Brock Lesnar is?
No.
Okay, say Mike Tyson.
Okay.
All right. Say we got a female that weighs Mike Tyson's weight and height that won the box Mike Tyson at his prime. Okay. Or imagine Mike Tyson with a wig going to the female boxing league. Okay. Could you imagine that?
No.
Why not?
Because Mike Tyson is not transgender. He boxes in his own league.
No, I'm not saying that, but you were saying they would have to wear a wig, and it's not the tampon in the ass, though. But you know what I'm saying?
The whole experience.
I don't know, man. I definitely think we all need to give everybody a fair chance and stuff like that. But I think the new transgender thing is so many. I try to stay out of it because I think that's y'all battle. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the females battle right there. I think, it's the same thing. I look at the Me Too movement and the feminist movement. And I may have said this to you before. I always used to say the feminist movement is not for African American, Asian women, Hispanic women. It's not for women of color. People will argue, but I just don't,
They identify as a womanist.
What's that?
It's a different school of thought that centers the Black experience, and Black family. Okay. So, definitely upholds, some of the feminist values, but also is conscious of our unique place in American history. Ooh. So.
What do you think the Black woman's place is in American history right now? Do you think it is beside the Black man, or do you think it's in front of the Black man, or do you think it's way behind the Black man? Do you think she's going to stand alone?
Well, I think personally, I want a life partner, Okay. And I identify as pansexual, but I do typically date cisgender heterosexual men. I'm open to dating anybody,
Is that what pansexual is? Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. I used to date a girl that was asexual. Okay. And I never knew what that was. Mm-hmm. And then she told me what it was. Have you heard of that?
Yeah. It was a plot point in this season of Big Mouth.
What is it?
Being an asexual person, just somebody who's not, interested in sex at all.
Yeah. That was the only time I heard anything about a sexual. Mm-hmm. But pansexual is new to me. So is it part of the LGBTQ plus?
I think pansexual would be the plus, yeah.
It being the plus. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
What have been? They were talking to some girl, and she said she likes transgender men. Okay. And the dude was like, "What?" It was like, "Yeah, She was like, "I like transgender men," and I started noticing like a lot of women are dating transgender men. Okay. Yeah. Is it more so the best of both worlds?
I have not dated a trans man, so I can't speak to that. Okay. But I just feel like you can love who you love.
That's what it is.
It's love who treats you right,
love
what I mean?
Who the hell treats you right,
man. Exactly. It doesn't matter what they got going on between their legs, how they identify. I'm attracted to the spirit of a person, not necessarily.
Can't be.
Because anybody can make you come now.
Can I?
Anybody has the potential to make you come, I think. They just need to learn you know?
Some women are hard. Some women don't want to come. Some I haven't had that problem.
Yeah,
but
I
I heard I haven't had that problem, but I heard a lot of women, complain about it as an entertainer. They're like, oh yeah, like, what's the major problem with guys is that they don't take their time.
Exactly, and they don't listen.
What'd you say? No.
They don't, see, exactly, they don't listen.
Let me get ready to get you out of here. What do you have coming up? Any projects, any shows, anything coming up you want to share with the audience?
Yeah, I'm just, I have been booked and busy as of late. So just follow me on Instagram, instagram.com/Amba Walker, no hard ER.
Boom.
So that's the best way to keep up with what I got going on.
I know I ain't explained my nose, did I?
You did not.
I did not explain my nose.
You don't have to. You don't owe anybody an explanation.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you, I gotta get more. People been asking me, and I've been going off on people because I'm not used to people meddling. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Normally, you see this on the black man's face, that means something happened, fight. Right? So out here in California, they think you got your nose done. Like some Michael Jackson shit. So that's why I didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? But I got beat up by the police.
Okay.
So yeah, I got beat up. No, I got beat up in Kentucky 10 years ago, and I just got it fixed.
Oh.
So yeah, so if you read about it, André Mulligan versus Louisville police, the case, it's a big, huge case that had happened. And the police broke my nose, and I almost went to penitentiary for no reason. And they charged me with 5 things: public intoxication, disorderly conduct, menacing, resisting arrest, assault on a police officer, and I didn't do anything. So so everything was dismissed. There you go.
That's you.
That is me. And I'll make sure I put this up, y'all, so y'all can see it. I posted a lot, though. So yeah, so beat me up. Everything George Floyd went through, I talk about it. Dude standing on my back, knee in my lower back, neck. Couldn't breathe. Everything is weird. This is 2012.
Yeah.
So it's September 1st, 2012. And the reason why I don't like talking about it as much is because I used to do it as a form of a joke. But once I got my nose fixed, it really brought back a lot of trauma.
I imagine.
You know what I'm saying? Because they try to kill me. And, to actually realize that they were trying to kill me. And I pretended to die. And that's why I said,
you said you passed out.
I pretended to die, and that's why they let me go. They literally backed up off me like wild hyenas. Like, when the guy first punched me, I was on the ground, and he punched me in my face, pow, and broke my nose, knocked my nose over here. And he was like, called back up. All of a sudden, they grabbed me, threw me on top of a car. One dude tried to break my ankle, and then they opened up the car door and threw me in on my stomach. It was like fucking dark in the back of a car on your stomach. And I was like, man, you gotta say something. I turned around, I was like, man, you a punk ass police. Well, I said that, he opened up the car door, jumped inside, and started hitting me. Pow, 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 pow. The guy was on the other side trying to break my neck.
Oh my God.
And he was like literally gripped me behind my ears, twisting, literally trying to snap it, I remember like it was yesterday, the nigga was trying to snap my neck, and I'm turning my body, I'm like, I'm like this turning, and then someone was like, dog, just die, dog, just pretend to die. I was just like, oh. And when I went like that, they just got straight up off me. Dude slammed the door, other dude slammed the door, and they came back around. The guy, Wayne Kapowski, was the guy who was trying to break my neck. The captain was looking through the window, looking at me in the back of the squad car, and he opens up the car door. And when he opened up the car door, like, cause I was out, like pretend I was like, oh shit, pretend I was like, damn, nigga, you supposed to be dead. And I was laying out like this, and then he just gave me and threw me up and put me in my seatbelt like I was alive. People didn't know that I was pretending to die, and he wanted them to believe that I was alive when I left.
The officer?
The officer.
Yes.
because like I said, I pretend to die. So I got a video. I'll show you when we get done. I got a video. So when the first officer gets out the car and walks away from the car, the other officer, he walks around because, like I said, I was pretending to be dead. He opens up the car door, gets inside, and he has to sit me up because nobody can see me. And then I remember when they got in their squad cars, they got to First and Main Street. It was like, you want to take them somewhere? And dude was like, nah, we can't. Like, we'll do it with somebody else, not this one, because everybody would follow. It was like the word is knowing that they were going to kill me, knowing that, you know, so whenever people ask me about this, I'm like, a lot of y'all ain't ready for that conversation.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
You know what I'm
awful.
saying? Because you got to tell it all. You know, the police hit me, it's like, oh shit, so.
Well, I hope that you get the justice that you deserve.
No justice.
Sue the pants off them.
Couldn't sue. My lawyer messed up the case. And there's a year statute of limitation on it. And he forgot to file the case, and it was dropped. Kentucky, same Breonna Taylor.
Yeah.
Yep, same thing. So that's what happened, man. Thank you for coming out, man. Everybody see Students in Detention, André Mulligan, Amba Walker, every week, but also going back to every day with the regular podcast. But I will be releasing special episodes weekly. Miss Amba Walker here, man, Chicago's finest, one of the most funniest comedians that I've met. So y'all show her some love, y'all.
And fuck 12.
Fuck 12.
Yes.
Fuck all of them. Every branch. Y'all name them. I don't like them.
Yes.
Because they all beat me up in life. All right.
They have.
Boom. All right, hold on. We good? All right.
All right.